Hello everybody, my name is Hellkaiser and welcome back to Warcraft 3. We were playing as Prince Arthas. The Horde is uprising and we're stopping them. That's about the long and the short of what we're doing. Defending the cities. In fact, there's a bunch of orcs right there that we're about to kick ass with. I got my old recording software up and going, so it's a little bit better, but apparently it's making the game hitch. Okay, start healing our men up. Wow, that's a lot of hitching. I'm using action recording software, and it does tend to make some games run kind of weird at times. I'm all out of mana. I hope that knight doesn't die. He's gonna die. I should have used the potion sooner. Okay, we defeated the slave master, but we did lose a guy.
Of course.
I don't think it matters, though. Isn't that the end of this level?
Bless you, Prince Arthas. But what about the others who were taken away?
Don't worry, son. We'll find them and bring them home safe.
Prince Arthas, Lord Uther needs you at the Orc encampment immediately.
I love how stupid the faces look talking.
Let's get moving.
Arthas has a normal face, but like everybody else looks so uncanny when they're talking. I honestly wish I'd finished that last night. It was just an extra minute. So we killed 17 units. I think that's what that is. By the way, in case you're wondering, we're playing on normal difficulty. Go Luther Lightbringer.
Good timing, lad. I sent 2 of my best knights into parley with the Orc leader. They should be returning shortly.
Their horses came back, but no knights.
Damn. These Orcs will never surrender.
Then let's get in there and destroy the beasts.
Remember, Arthas, we are paladins. Vengeance cannot be a part of what we must do. If we allow our passions to turn to bloodlust, we will become as vile as the Orcs.
Yes, Uther.
If you're feeling up to it, I want you to lead the attack.
Me? Well, of course.
I'll remain here and ensure that none of the loathsome beasts threaten the camp.
I won't fail you.
I know you won't, lad.
I know that Arthas is young and kind of impulsive, but he doesn't seem like the type of man
Yes, me lord.
who would be that much of a, man, the game really froze up there. He doesn't seem like the kind of man that would be much into, what do you want to call it, being holy stuff, being a paladin.
Ready to work.
He just doesn't seem like he would work like that.
What?
Okay. Man, the frame rate is terrible. So what all is my quest? Construct a barracks and 2 farms.
Alright. More work.
This is your first job. Don't act like it's that big a deal.
Righto.
Did you hear the orcs complaining when I was playing as them? No, they went to work. We humans aren't really good for much, are we?
Justice shall be done.
I can order 3 of these guys.
Job's done. What is it? Off I go then.
You can actually get multiple units to help build
What is
a
it?
thing quicker. We could use an altar of kings. Oh, we already got one. Okay. Where's the barracks? There it is.
Yes, my lord. What? More work? Off I go then.
There we go. Get that thing built quickly. I love this game. It's so good to play it again and be able to finally record it. I've been wanting to record this game for years. I love strategy games. Maybe I should record more of them. It's just, I feel like it's a boring sort of game to play and record because it requires
Job's done.
a lot of talking. And I'm just not very good at communicating that well. I don't think to be able to
Yes, my lord.
be very good at it.
What? Righto.
There, I could use 4 people on gold. And I need 6 footmen.
More gold is required.
There's orcs coming. Arthas, go do your thing.
More gold is required. I'm here to help.
We are not in good standing here. One of you, go repair that tower.
Is there danger?
More gold is required. Ready for action.
Will you get to work? I'm gonna have to construct another peasant to start doing some work around
Yes,
here.
my lord.
I need as much gold as I can get. Need to upgrade these towers too, so they don't. At least one on both
Ready for
sides.
action.
Okay, I got 3 guardsmen so far.
More work?
Get to work. Shut up. This isn't a union. This is a kingdom. I'm the boss here. There we go. That's 5. Need 1 more. You know, I was looking online after I played this last episode, and I thought to myself,
Ready for action.
what kind of RTS games are there? I mentioned Spellforce 3 and Warlord's Battlecry, but when you think about it, in terms of story or gameplay, balancing, all that stuff, I don't think there's ever been a game that even came close to this. And like I said, there's not that many games that ever straight up just ripped off that hero system.
Yes, my lord.
Start repairing that.
Is there danger?
Oh, good thing Uther's healed a man.
Ready for action.
Need the rest of my squad. I got like 2 more coming out of there. There we go.
What is it? All right.
Here they come.
The warlocks of the Black Rock clan have spoken. Soon, demons will rain from the sky, and this wretched world will burn.
Yes, I've heard this rhetoric before. You orcs will never burn. It was only a mirror image. Damn it. What are these curs up to?
The hour of doom approaches. Let this paltry sacrifice appease our demon masters.
You sick bastards. Never get away with it.
I thought the orcs were preparing to stop all this too.
Slay them all.
Arthas, you're getting your temper up.
What? Off I go then. Yes, my lord.
Okay, I need another farm.
Righto. Yes, me lord.
And then you...
More gold is required.
How much gold? I need to upgrade our weapons. You
Righto.
get to work.
Orders? Aye, my lord. Right.
But anyways, I was saying, this is one of the few games in the world that I would say does not have a mass
Complete.
of imitators. I guess it really is the definition of something that nobody could compete with. Like, I'm a music man. I play bass myself, but I really love guitar heroes like Steve Vai and Joe Satriani and stuff like that.
Ready for action.
And when he was making his signature guitar, Steve Vai, that is, the Gem,
Off I go
he
then.
wanted a guitar that nobody would ever try to copy. And that ended up becoming... Oh, I already had a lumber mill, so now I feel like an idiot. I just wasted money and resources. Okay, let's just march on these guys.
For honor.
As I was saying,
A sound plan.
what was I saying? Again, I've lost it.
Feel my wrath.
There's some gnolls. We'll fight them. Get a little XP. What are those things? Like, I never noticed. I always thought they were like wolfmen, but they're hyenas.
Certainly.
I guess there's a first time for
Our
noticing
town
everything.
is under siege.
The light is my strength.
Justice is come.
Justice shall be done.
Come on, we gotta get to work defending this town. I need to call in about 4 units, 2 on each side, to guard the town. Upgrade hero abilities. What should I learn? I think I'll go with Divine Shield.
The light is my strength.
Ready for action.
What?
One of you
Yes,
needs
Lord.
to start working on that.
I'm here to help.
Okay, you two, go defend over here.
Is there
Okay,
danger?
we need to get a move on.
For honor.
Ready for
All
action.
fall.
Dragon Hunter.
Well met, good human. Have you come to join in our hunt?
What are you dwarves hunting in this region?
We're hunting black drakes. It's said that drake's blood can bestow fiery enchantments upon weapons.
The fiery enchantments you seek could prove useful.
The name of the beast we're hunting is Cyranox. With your aid, the monster won't stand a chance.
Say the word.
The light is my strength.
Yes, my liege. On my way.
Okay, where would this Cyranox be? I'm guessing
Aye,
somewhere
my lord.
over here. Orcs are attacking.
On my way.
Okay, I need to get in geared here. I need another farm built.
All right.
What do you need?
There's...
Of course.
That's a whelp. Oh well, good target practice.
Right.
Wait a second, where's Arthas? Where did Arthas go? Oh, he's... Why is he stuck back there?
Job's done. Yes, my lord.
Then quit loafing about and get to repairing structures.
Yes, my liege.
I'm here to help.
Oh, can I
Say the
not?
word.
As I say, it should let me target all of them. No, it won't let me.
I'm your suitor.
Our forces are under attack.
Time to go.
Of course.
Only the gunners can shoot these dragons down.
Certainly.
Certain enemies, like flying enemies, are only damaged by flying enemies.
Certainly.
Kind of basic in RTS game. There it is.
Every generation.
Come on, rip and tear. Keep that gunner alive. We need him. We got him.
Let's bring this heart back to the dwarves.
There we go.
For honor.
See, that's what I like about this game, too. Not only is it just like destroy the base kind of missions, or, you know, survive for so long, like 10 minutes, you know, build up your base and hold off until reinforcements, which there is missions like that, like there was in StarCraft and stuff. But it's also a bit more nuanced than that. There's a lot you can do.
A sound plan.
And it makes the game feel much more alive.
Word? Yes, my lord.
Justice shall be done. Of course.
The pathing still ain't been fixed up all the way.
Certainly.
Our town is under siege.
You have a target?
The light is my strength. For honor. Is there danger?
What do I do here?
Now I will reforge our weapons.
There we
to
go.
Strike with searing heat.
I'm here to help.
There we get Orb of Fire. So see, now we get added 5 fire damage to the attack of a hero when carried. And they do splash damage. So see, you get like upgradable abilities, perks, you know, stat bonuses, extra damage, extra mana, extra luck, you know, insert whatever it is here.
Of course.
How many games, especially RTS games, have that level of depth
Forces
to
are under
them?
attack.
And now I kind of remember what I was, there's a lot of games, like,
A sound plan. For honor.
you think of Halo, revolutionized console gaming when it came out, kind of set up what became a lot of shooters, if you think about it over the years.
Of course.
Games like Call of Duty, Singularity, I'd say even Gears of War, but I'm talking mostly about first-person shooters here.
For honor.
God knows there's so many first-person shooters, even generic ones like Homefront
Sound plan.
and stuff like that.
Certainly.
That was,
Of course.
you know, descended from Halo.
A sound.
It was one of the first games. It didn't have regenerating health originally, but it had regenerating shields, and that kind of set up what would become regenerating health as popularity. You could only carry 2 guns, which again became a staple of more modern games like Call of Duty.
Betrayer of the light.
Haze was PlayStation's terrible attempt at trying to copy Halo.
Feel my
You know, it was incredible how much stuff that game did. And it became so copied it became useless. Gears of War, I talked about it briefly.
Father, the king.
So many games ended up becoming third-person cover shooters after that game. It became the thing that everyone had to copy.
for honor.
Forces are under attack.
Foul name.
They're fine. The Blade Master's who I care about killing. Of course, he's got that copy ability. Nobody's dying on my watch here. There we go. We got the Blade Master.
You've done well, lad. This was a sound victory.
I don't know, Uther. The orcs were sacrificing townsfolk. I think they were trying to summon demons.
Have faith, lad. These orcs are trying to hold on to dying traditions. We defeated their demons a long time ago. Let's head for home. It's been a long day.
Okay. Since we're in between missions, let me try to say what I was going to say now. I hit continue like an idiot. Okay, but I can't talk. You know, I was talking about how Halo was influential. God of War, that's another game that was extremely influential. So many games copied that. You know, Dante's Inferno. You know, there's so many, I can't even keep track of them all. Technically, like, you could count Heavenly Sword and stuff like that. Most action games descended from Devil May Cry and God of War. Those two games kind of built the foundation that a lot of third-person hack-and-slash kind of action games became. But you look at Warcraft 3, and you really don't see its identity in a lot of games. There's not really... I've never played an RTS with a gripping, compelling story such as Warcraft 3. And the hero system, I've never really seen it in more than like 4 or 5 games, and most of those were like indie, early access Steam RTS games and stuff. Like I said, Spellforce and Battlecry were like the only other games I've ever seen do it. And Battlecry, I think, came out before Warcraft 3. Let me Google that real quick. Warlords 2 Battlecry. No, it actually came out in 2002, the same year as Warcraft did. So that's kind of interesting. But Spellforce is about the only other game that I've ever heard of, even being remotely similar. And you think to yourself, especially like console kind of style RTSs would do it. Wait, I just lied to you. There's one other game, I was just playing it yesterday. Iron Harvest uses a very similar system to Warcraft 3. I can't remember the main character's name, but she's a woman sniper, and you kind of level up. But it's not like you get to select your abilities, or at least so far I've only been an hour and a half into the game. I don't think I've been able to select abilities, but so it's not perfect. But you would think they've been like flooded on the market, especially with how popular this game was. And even though this Reforged edition didn't sell as well and people didn't like it as much, you can't deny this game is still one of the most influential, not just RTSs, but games in the world, and one of the greatest games ever made. And so it's kind of incredible that nobody wanted to try to just make their own spin on it. Like, you could think of, like, realistically, League of Legends or something could do an RTS game kind of similar to this. I'd love to see something like that.
I'm not interested in this nonsense, and I've wasted my time.
Man, most people would just turn this guy down flat. What was he expecting?
You can show yourself now, Jaina. He's gone.
I'm sorry for
Jaina Proudmore.
It's your inquisitive nature that I've come to rely on, child. That crazed fool's convinced that the world is about to end.
I've heard the rumors of the plague spreading throughout the Northlands. Do you truly believe that the plague is magical in nature?
It's a strong possibility. That's why I need you to travel there and investigate the matter.
I always love the look of Jaina's eyes. They're very well modeled and very pretty to look at.
Yes, Master.
you will, child. Farewell.
Prince Arthas, we've been waiting here for hours. Are you sure this friend of yours is coming?
I'm sure. Jaina usually runs a little late.
And speak of the devil.
We must help her!
Stay your blade, Captain. She can take care of herself. Gentlemen, meet Miss Jaina Proudmoore, Special Agent to the Kirin Tor, and one of the most talented sorceresses in the land. Looks like you haven't lost your touch. It's good to see you again, Jaina.
You too, Arthas. It's been a while since a prince escorted me anywhere.
Yes, it has. Well, I guess we should get underway.
After knowing the end of this game,
Our sources believe the
oh,
plague
they're talking
originated in the
solid.
region north of here. We should check out the villages along the King's Road.
As I was about to say, after
For the light.
knowing the end of the game and stuff, and knowing how it ended for Arthas, spoiler on a game that's 21 years old, Arthas ends up losing his soul to a cursed weapon named Frostmourne and becomes evil and essentially destroys his kingdom. If that hadn't happened, or if Jaina maybe had stayed by his side,
Of course.
things could have been so different. I think there was a book, if I'm not mistaken, written.
Prince Arthas.
It was like a what-if scenario where they ended up having a child together and he saved the world and was a hero.
For honor.
But his story is very important to, in terms of character design. Most video games tell the story of the rise of the hero. Spider-Man
Certainly.
donning his suit and going out and saving the land. Batman becoming a hero. The main character doing whatever. This is the story of a hero's fall, and it's incredibly well done.
Side of the river. There is another way to cross, but it is not as safe as it used to be.
A sound plan.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
Of course. For honor. Certainly.
Slaughter them all. Bandits, run! Justice is come.
Don't worry, we'll save you.
The town. Save us.
That was incredibly easy.
Feel
Oh, there's another few bandits coming up. And down they go. Did they really think that that was going to work out well for them?
Oh, thanks so much. I have a reward for you.
I'm on my way.
Of course.
Oh,
For honor.
I already received it.
Certainly.
Healing potion.
A sound plan.
My lord, there is an ancient fountain shrine nearby. Legends say that its holy waters can restore health and heal grievous wounds.
That could prove to be useful indeed.
Find the fountain of health.
Certainly.
Let's head towards it. There's Murlocs.
Light.
The only thing I can say about this game that really got passed on was like the items and the leveling. Because I mean, I guess in some ways the game is very copied because, you know, MOBAs became a thing. But I just don't see this game as really copying, you know, as MOBAs copying that game too much.
Father, the king.
Because it feels like it's a different situation, if that makes sense. Because MOBAs, you know, are multiplayer. There's not a single-player element to those types of games. They feel very different. But in terms of like a single player RTS with this kind of style, it's not overdone. I really wish that they would finally, maybe if Activision ever, the deal with Activision and Xbox go through, they'll finally be able to buy the rights and maybe make a Warcraft 4. That would be incredible.
Is there danger?
I forgot that you have to control the water elemental.
Of course.
And it completely ran out of usefulness by the time I got to it. On we march.
Lock your shields and defend yourselves. Their arrows won't get through.
Skeletons, slay them all immediately.
Here we go. The battles still are a ton of fun in this game. What I think makes this game extremely fun...
What were those creatures, Sergeant?
Undead, Milo. This whole village has gone mad. We did our best to defend the villagers.
We'll get to the bottom of this.
As I was saying,
Certainly.
what makes this game so good too is it's not just like because of the hero abilities or the art style, which I find to be incredible, or you know, the story. It's also the fact the game is incredibly well balanced.
A sound plan.
It makes the game
Certainly.
much tighter
Of course.
and well done because hang on.
It's as if the land around that granary is dying.
Could the grain itself be plagued?
Let's hope not. Those crates bear the regional seal of Anderham, the distribution center for the northern boroughs. If this grain can spread the plague, there's no telling how many villages might be affected.
As I was saying, every unit is extremely well balanced. The undead are not as healthy as the other races, but their damage output is a little higher than most races, making it so that you know, they can hold out pretty decently. You know, every like ranged. Some races have more of this. I mean, I'm kind of rambling. I'm losing my focus here. But the point is, the game manages to be incredibly focused and tight and very taut, and that's because the balance team did an incredible job with the game. There we go. I need that mana regen.
The light is my strength. Certainly. A sound.
There's that Fountain of Youth, or not, Fountain of Hell.
Foul knave.
This must be the shrine that the old man spoke of. Any man who drinks from these light-blessed waters will be healed. For honor.
There we go. Top up our health.
Sound plan. Of course.
Now let's get to work.
Certainly.
Like, I really can't think of many games that are this well balanced when I really sit down and think about it. In some RTS games and stuff, you got like enemies that have like unlimited resources or some sort of advantage that makes it much more difficult for you, the player, to be able to handle. And in this game, they just handle everything so well. You never feel like you're at a position where you just cannot win. I guess I should get Holy Light leveled up so I can heal up my men better.
Certainly. A sound plan. Of course. A sound plan. Of course.
Certainly. Greetings. We are priests from Quel'Thalas. We've come to help heal the land of this strange curse.
As always, the generosity of the elves is greatly appreciated.
You should know that there is a granary warehouse at the far end of this village. This evil blight may be evident there as well.
We'll check it out. I
Now we got
stand for the light.
some priests to help us.
For my father, the king. For honor. Of course.
And see, even with just a small thing of units,
We're blasting those damn skeletons, sir.
it's not like it's a large fighting force.
We've got a warehouse destroyed.
Some games require a very large fighting force to make you feel like you're in the game and you're waging this massive war. This game manages to use very few units. I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I got 11 units, and I feel like I'm powerful, and I feel like this is a massive battle going on.
A sound. For my father.
Good shooting.
For honor.
Mantle of Intelligence. I need
Of
that.
course.
So see, now that increases the intelligence of the hero, which is a stat that improves your magic and stuff like that. It's kind of hard to describe because even the game doesn't like show you your stats and stuff very well. Yeah, I don't even think there's a button to really explain that to you very well.
A
But
sound plan.
the game has a lot of stuff to it that's these items and stuff is what made Dota and stuff. Being able to use these items to create
Certainly.
heroes and abilities. Ultimately, it's incredible the influence this game had both on the RTS genre and on creating a new genre. But it's not really used that much.
Flee and continue with the operation. I'm sorry I can't stay and chat, but duty calls.
Like, even that big monster there, I can't remember his name, that became Pudge.
Like it was sewn together from different corpses.
Let's study it after we kill it, okay?
You asked for it.
Yeah, the Undead Scourge became Pudge later on in Dota. So, I mean, it's incredible how much this game ended up offering to the world. Hold on a little longer, soldier. Nobody's dying on my watch.
A sound plan.
Let's move along.
Of course.
Justice is
Destroy the grain warehouse. One thing I will say I do like about the Reforged edition is you don't have to click attack order and then click the thing to destroy certain buildings. That was something that you always had to do in the original.
What was that? And who was that wizard dressed in black?
I believe that the robed man was a necromancer. Obviously, he and his lackeys are behind this plan.
Well, it's a good bet we'll find him and the answers we're looking for in Anderhall.
And that's another mission down. So far we've done... I'm not going to count the first one, so 2.
Look, it's those cultists who are with the necromancer. What are they doing to that mine?
Let's not wait to find out. Attack!
Damn these intruders. They must not interfere with the Master's plan.
Let's build a base camp here. With those cultists creeping around, I'd rather not head in there without backup.
I couldn't agree more.
I love how Arthas is displayed as very brash and impulsive. when you think of a paladin, you think of this very religious man, unshaken in his faith and strong of will and stuff. I think that he's a good spin. He's a good spin on the genre or the class. I don't know how you would word that. In the way that he seems very So see, there's your intelligence stat, and as you can see, it affects certain things, mana regeneration and stuff. And the way he's displayed kind of shows that he doesn't really fit in, and it's like he doesn't really know what role he really wants to play. You know what I mean? He wants to be a hero, he wants to be a good man, but he doesn't seem to want to be what he is. It's almost like he just isn't meant for it.
Job's done.
More gold is required.
Oh, hang on and I'll get some more gold.
What?
Don't question me and get to work. But when I think about this game more and more, I think one of my other favorite RTS games is Warhammer 40k Dawn of War. And, you know, you control a lot of units in that game. It's like these massive battles.
Job's done.
But realistically, it isn't like it's all that demanding in a lot of ways, you know, or maybe that's not. This game, you don't need Warhammer 40k Dawn of War 2 reduced it to like squad-based combat. That's sort of the similar thing to Warcraft 3. But it's not like you command soldiers and the heroes. It's like you have heroes, you outfit them with stuff, and then you have these. The first one is pure RTS. The second game's like squad-based heroes sort of stuff, similar to Warcraft 3, but without the individual units that you can build and stuff. When Dawn of War 3 came out, it tried to be a combination of both. It does have some of the hero elements, such, you know, from Warcraft 3, but I just felt like the game just didn't really know what it wanted to do. It seemed like a mess. The single player wasn't too great. The story in general was really rough. It's just one of those games that really seemed to struggle. And the first time I played a Dawn of War game, I didn't necessarily like the direction of 2. It was a good game. I enjoyed it, don't get me wrong. But I prefer to be controlling a large army. But when I played Dawn of War 3, I just didn't like it. It seemed like they wanted to make it cinematic, but they didn't really know what they're doing. And from what I understand, Company of Heroes 3 is not very good. I haven't played it yet, but I've seen the reviews on Steam, and a lot of people say they don't like it. So, I believe those games are made by the same people, Relic Entertainment. I'm not certain on that. But it feels like it's kind of sad that they dropped the bomb on 2 really good franchises. But I've always wanted to see a Dawn of War game, or just any Warhammer game, it doesn't have to be under the Dawn of War title, where it's got like the hero abilities of 3 and 2, but mixed in with the RTS action of 1. And maybe like smaller squads, because like what I was trying to say is Warhammer 40k Dawn of War has like these massive battles, and it feels good and it looks good, but it doesn't necessarily demand the game doesn't have to have that kind of action to make it better. It could do just as good without doing that, but because it feels like it needs to, and I guess it's fine, but I'd love to see a game like this, you know, maybe 20, 30 units at most, and you just do your best to control them and do what you can. I feel like I'm kind of rambly. I'm having a hard time getting my thoughts together on what I'm trying to say. I got the image in my head, but the word is hard to get out. If you've played these games, then you probably might be able to understand what I'm saying. A game with like the cinematic stylings of 3, the squad hero abilities of 2, and the massive battles of 1 would be great. Even if it wasn't necessarily these massive armies, like I said, maybe 20, 30 units, but with the hero abilities stuff, I think that would be incredibly impressive. I'd love to see a Dawn of War game that was like Warcraft 3, and especially if it had that level of storytelling. Then I'd really be impressed. We got about 15 minutes left. Let's see what we can do. Running out of things to talk about on this game, so let's talk about some music.
Job's done.
Okay, I got a blacksmith, but I don't have a workshop.
More gold is required. More work.
We got intruders incoming. I don't need to have a call to arms. I just need these guys working.
Justice shall be done.
I like that the healers are healing the men. Let's talk about music. I talked about Metallica's 72 Seasons versus Slayer, where I guess Megadeth, Sick, the Dying, and the Dead. Let's talk about some music that I never really listened to before that I started giving a chance. Power Trip. Picked up their album a couple months ago. I picked up both Nightmare Logic and I can't remember what the first one is called, or maybe that's the first one and I got the second. I got them mixed up either way. But I really enjoy their music. It's not like, it's sort of a strange version of thrash. I don't quite know how to word it. It's like partly, it's like it's part new metal, and I don't want to say that because people seem to think Slipknot when you say new metal, but it's like part new metal, part thrash. I would say the closest comparison would be like Slayer's "God Hates Us All" album. There's a song on there. I can't remember which one because they sound so similar. Threshold or Payback. They're both songs about being angry and lashing out. But one of them has a solo and one doesn't. But they're pure thrash. It's a pure thrash album. But it doesn't have like a lot of solos and stuff. It doesn't need it. It's down to the riffs. And the whole album is just full of some really great riffs. Both albums are really solid, but specifically, I got the album right here. I'm talking about Nightmare Logic. That's their 2017 release. As I understand it, their singer died. Let me pull out the jacket thing here and see what it says about the band. This is just lyrics, I think. It doesn't say much about the band on their jacket, but the singer, whoever he was, I believe he passed away in 2019 or so. I can't remember what was his cause of death. But Swing of the Axe is one of their songs, and it is an incredibly good album. Really solid riffs and stuff. And then I actually started listening to a little bit of Rigor Mortis and Morbid Saint, which I'd heard of them, I've seen the front cover, and I always thought it was like a knockoff of Eddie from Iron Maiden, but they are a really good death thrash hybrid. When I hear of like a death thrash hybrid, I think of these really growly vocals mixed in with more speed of thrash, and that's just exactly what it is. Sometimes I feel like some of these albums are a bit too it's like they don't really know what they want to be. There's no identity for them, and so they kind of really struggle to find that middle ground between
More lumber is required. More work? Yes, my lord.
between death and thrash. Like you can't be a thrash metal band and a death metal band, is what some of them think. So they're like, one song will be one and one will be the other. But you really can, because death metal came from thrash. And if you listen to like Death's first two albums, Scream Bloody Gore and Leprosy, then they both sound very thrashy at the end of the day. Arcane Sanctum and a
More
Workshop.
lumber is required.
I need more peons, or peasants in this case.
Locked and loaded. What do you need?
And then get to the front. Anyway, Morbid Saint, really good album. They only had one album, and apparently they were in the process of recording their second album when they broke up. But then in 2015, they finally got back together and released that album. So I haven't listened to it yet, but I listened to their first one, Spectrum of Death, and it's an incredibly good, solid album.
What is it?
Don't talk to your prince that way. Get to work. And I've listened to a couple more, kind of death thrash mix, like Nervosa. If you've ever heard of them, they're an all-female thrash band, and they're really pretty solid too. And they managed to kind of ride that line better than some of the other bands I've heard. Because sometimes I hear people say that they're death and thrash mixed together, and when you actually listen to them, they're just death, or they're just thrash with just really rough vocals. But you can kind of, I never understood why people want to use that kind of distinction to try to compare the two, because you can do both at the same time. It's just kind of, and like Rob Dukes from Exodus, he is very clearly singing thrash, but he has a very growly voice, and you could say he could be a death metal singer. Same thing with Chuck Billy. They did a death metal album when they did
Yes, my lord.
Demonic.
Yes, my lord.
But that doesn't mean that they're still not a thrash band at the end of the day. I've heard one of my friends once said it's not about the singing style, it's about the music, the guitars and the drums and stuff. And I think that's the best way of describing it when you say like you're a death thrash hybrid. I think that you could say that about like the vocals are death, but the music is faster tempo, or the lyrics are more aggressive and not so gory like Cannibal Corpse or something. And that's how you can decide, but maybe that's just me. I feel like I just rambled on about that. But check out some of those bands if you've never heard of them before. I've always wanted to hear more female thrash metal bands, because you don't really see that many. I'm not talking like full female, but at least like a female lead singer, because you don't see many of them, and when you do, it's mostly like death thrash. Like I find Holy Moses to be like death thrash, because she has a very death metal voice, so much so I don't think it's a thrash metal voice. I'd like to see someone kind of singing about like Joey Belladonna. I hope I got the guy from Anthrax. I think that's his name. I'm not a big Anthrax fan,
Righto.
but I'd love to see somebody like that singing thrash, maybe like the Tyler Momsen kind of voice from the Pretty Reckless.
Righto.
Okay, that's all I need to build. Actually, scratch that. I don't need a mortar team. But I could use a couple of riflemen. And a couple of knights. We're barely going to get started before I have to stop. I probably will stop here. But we have built up our town. We talked a little bit about music and stuff. Let me get this sanctuary built.
More work.
Get to work. I love how the trees will come down and just leave the stumps, and so they have to go further out or closer in to get the wood. I think that's a really well done, thought out thing.
Job done. Yes, me lord.
Now get back to that mine.
Build more farms.
Okay, one of
More
you
work.
build another farm.
Off I go then.
And hurry up about it. Let's see what else we can talk about for like 2 minutes while I build this farm. Recently, I'm recording this around July 18th is the date. And so about a month ago, or a little bit less than a month ago, I went to see the new Spider-Man movie. And I really liked it. I really liked Into the Spider-Verse. I thought it was an incredibly well done art style. And a really good Spider-Man movie. Because how can...
Research complete.
I'm trying to think of a intelligent way of wording this where it doesn't make you sound stupid. I never liked Miles Morales as a character. I feel like he was built solely for the purpose of being like this can I control all these guys? Okay. Leave one shooter here just sort of to guard the place.
What do you need? Of course. Ready for action.
Is there danger? Justice shall be done.
Okay. So anyways, I was saying, let me just go ahead and save the game here. I always felt like Miles Morales was kind of this odd character in the universe of Spider-Man because he doesn't feel right. He's there to tick boxes. He's a black man and he's Puerto Rican, so he's biracial. And I feel like a lot of Marvel, I don't like to use the word woke because I feel like there's too many negative connotations on it, but I feel like it's also the word that people understand the most. Made him not to be a superhero, but to be a representation for the black audience. And instead of making him his own hero, they had to suck off of a popular series. And I kind of understand why you have to do that, because you feel like you're not going to be able to get your character to get off the ground if it's not part of a big series. But at the same time, if you hire really good writers and you promote it well, I think that you could make a black superhero or a Muslim superhero or, whatever you want. Gay, transgender, whatever. If it was a well-done story that wasn't bad. Because the problem with like a lot of modern, especially with Disney in control, is that they feel like showing a woman be like invulnerable, not have any feelings, be able just to be like Iron Man and just shrug off mortal wounds and fly a plane without knowing how to do it, or a spaceship, and be good at everything because she's a woman, is strong character. That's not really strong character. That's being an idiot as a writer. And I feel like Miles was always that kind of character that people looked at and just felt like he didn't belong. And I think Into the Spider-Verse gave him character, and made him at least into an interesting person that I actually really liked. And then Across the Spider-Verse, or whatever this one's called, really seemed to make his character... I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it. But, so spoiler warning, if you don't want to hear this, just go ahead and click off this video, because this is all I'm going to say. He's talking with Spider-Man 2099, and he calls him an anomaly, essentially calling him a mistake. Now, I'm not saying that he's like a mistake to the franchise, or because of any other reason some of you might be drawing up in your head that might not have seen the movie. But I like the idea that even the writers admit he's not really Spider-Man. He's not meant to be. Or at least this particular Miles Morales is not meant to be Spider-Man. He was a mistake. An accident because of a bunch of stuff that happened in the first movie. And I like the idea of the character now having to prove himself, because it's like it is in real life. He had to prove himself to his comic book audience, and I don't think he did very good. But now on the big screen, he has to prove himself not only to the other Spider-Man to be a real Spider-Man, but to the audience. And I think he's been doing that. And I think it's a really good... It's better written than a lot of Marvel stuff lately. And so if you haven't seen the movie, go watch it. I think it's really good. Incredible animation. A lot of funny Spider-Man jokes and stuff in there. But anyway, we've talked about a lot of different stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening.